In 1967, the winners of the two pro football conferences came together for the AFL-NFL championship game, and the early winners were awarded what was generically called the World Championship Game trophy. Pretty flat, right? Well, fortunately, in 1970, NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle changed the names to the Super Bowl and the Vince Lombardi trophy. Why was Lombardi chosen out of all the possible contenders? That's the question we will be answering in this video, so let's take a deeper look into the primary reasons why the Super Bowl trophy was named after Vince Lombardi. Now, most other blogs and videos you'll watch focus on only one reason: his winning legacy. And indeed, it's worth noting for a moment just how successful he was. Of all coaches like George Halas and Tom Landry, Lombardi had the best record, winning over 70% of his games. He won 90% of games in the postseason. In 10 years of head coaching, he secured 5 championship titles and 2 Super Bowls. He probably could have won more, but they invented the Super Bowl midway through his career. He took a team, the Green Bay Packers, on the brink of being kicked out of the league for losing so badly, and turned them into champions. To say that Lombardi's winning percentage alone prompted the trophy dedication would be an unfair reduction. Fortunately for you listening, I have more in-depth reasons to unpack, so let's get to it. Lombardi had a presence unlike any other. One of his players, Doug Kenna, said, "His presence was overwhelming. He radiated authority. He was really in charge."
Hey, what about that now? What the hell's going on out here?
The machine. Block through the machine. Let's hit and lift. That's the way to come out of there. That away there.
Men who wanted to stay, they're still here. And let me tell you this, Green Bay is a great town for football.
Lombardi became a larger-than-life figure in football, in media, and beyond. What Pulitzer Prize-winning writer David Marinis called the mythology of Lombardi in his book When Pride Still Mattered. As fate would have it, Lombardi was a royal heir of coaching lineage. It starts with Curly Lambeau, who founded a new professional football team, the Green Bay Packers, and was a successful coach of the Packers for 2 decades. Earlier in his career, though, Lambeau coached Sleepy Jim Crowley at Green Bay East High School in 1920. Crowley would later become Lombardi's coach at Fordham University. So when Lombardi accepted the head coaching job in Green Bay, he was welcomed by the fans as a royal son coming home to bring them out of the dark years and into the light of victory once again. Lombardi also carried a military prowess from coaching alongside the infamous Army coach Red Blake at West Point, who was closely connected with 5-star General Douglas MacArthur. Myth becomes myth not in the living, but in the retelling, Marinis wrote. Lombardi's image would not have been possible without the myth makers. Sports writers like Grantland Rice and Timothy Cohane shaped people's perceptions of Lombardi's persona using poetry, nickname, and ancient mythological prose. Depictions of Lombardi, like Cohane's 7 blocks of granite, etched his infamy into football lore. No myth is complete without the mediums for myth-making. As history would have it, Lombardi experienced the best of 2 eras of media technology. Fanciful images of Lombardi were not just in people's imaginations, thanks to sports writers of old. Now they were on TV screens in people's living rooms, displayed in intimate detail by networks like CBS, NFL Films, and documentaries like Run to Daylight. His outward persona is an important factor, but Lombardi's inward philosophy even more so. Lombardi had an imperious leadership style. Players were either 100% committed to Lombardi's system, or they were sent packing.
Oh, God. Get him out of there, will you?
He wanted people who were disciplined, obedient, and willing to pay the price.
That's the way. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, he's getting the feel, that boy.
What set Lombardi apart, though, was that he coupled great authority with great love. This is love through self-sacrifice, charity, and loyalty. When the players know that the coach recognizes their dignity and is dedicated to their overall well-being, the coach loved his players, and they loved their coach like a good father and wanted anything to make him proud.
People don't know Coach Lombardi, and they don't know who he is. They don't know anything about him. We know him, we understand him, and we love him. This is one beautiful man.
Lombardi also had this distinct philosophy of freedom and discipline. Started with discipline of simplicity. He was known as the king of discard. He would whittle down to the one most important thing, removing the extraneous, and do that one thing over and over and over again. This repetition builds confidence and fearlessness and instinctiveness, he would say.
Lead play, a number one play, a bread and butter play. It is the play that the team knows it must make go, and the one its opponents know they must stop. My number one play is the power sweep. Continued success with it, of course, makes a number one play, because from that success stems your own team's confidence. And behind that is the basic truth that it expresses the coach as a coach and the players as a team. And they feel complete satisfaction when they execute it successfully.
Such discipline created the structure for freedom. This is where he gets freedom through discipline. He would drill the players on the practice field, but then let them lead on game day. He gave quarterback Bart Starr the freedom to call all of the offensive plays. Other coaches had 20 plays with one option. Lombardi had one play with 20 options.
It's a give and take. I'm not the complete autocrat here, do you see?
No doubt, Lombardi's rigorous training in ethics and philosophy with teachers like Father Ignatius Cox gave him an advantage over his coaching contemporaries. His practice as a teacher gave him another edge, learning pedagogical principles that showed him how to teach in a way that even the slowest person could understand. Having a profound philosophy is important, but convincing players to carry it out at the highest level is another skill set altogether, and this was Lombardi's specialty. There are coaches who know more about X's and O's, Lombardi said, but I've got an edge. I know more about football players than they do. And one of his players, Max McGee, agreed, Lombardi was the greatest psychologist. He knew how to get into players' heads. Before personality tests were a thing, Lombardi knew each and every one of his players inside and out. He used his psychology to push each player to their mental, emotional, and physical limits, and not beyond. The instruments of psychology was a combination of paradoxes that he calibrated very, very carefully to get the players to dig as deep as they could to push beyond resistance and perform at their absolute best. He would dial up the right combination of hatred and love and fear and confidence and motivate people individually as well as with the team. One of his players, Joe Kepler, said, "The old man was one shrewd psychologist." Now, when you start putting all of these things together, we find that Lombardi was a symbol, a thing that embodies the leading values that unite people according to an identity, according to football, and much more. Lombardi was also a symbol for America, and he described it as the American zeal, to be first in what we do and to win, to win, to win. Now, Lombardi meant win in the biggest way. He was after a metaphysical victory. It was debated amongst the players which Lombardi wanted more, to win or to go to heaven. His prayer life revealed his struggle between his will to win and his desire to be good. For indeed, his life exemplified that it wasn't just about winning as an end in itself, but he wanted to win in the right way, which takes what Lombardi called heart power. Lombardi said, "I am not speaking of a love which forces everyone to love everybody else. That you must love the white man because he is white, or the black man because he is black, or the poor man because he is poor, or our enemy because he is our enemy, but rather of a love that one man has for another human being. Heart power is the strength of your company. Heart power is the strength of the Green Bay Packers. It is the strength of America, and hate power is the weakness of the world." Though his life inspired the decision to name the Super Bowl trophy in his honor, Lombardi's death played its part too. A short time after Lombardi's abrupt passing to cancer in 1970, the commissioner confirmed the trophy to be named in Lombardi's honor. The cycle of the mythology of Lombardi was complete. The seed was sown. The man was memorialized in death, living on as a symbol of discipline, self-sacrifice, and victory. Lombardi was a legendary figure with a winning legacy, a profound philosophy, and a piercing psychology, who became a symbol for the things that bind us. Interestingly, for the first 29 Super Bowls, the trophy was presented in the winning team's locker room. However, since Super Bowl 30, the trophy is presented to the winning team on the field. I go into more detail in the meaning of the modern presentation ceremony and the procession and other religious forms in another video, which you can click right here in the closing screen or find in the description below. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you found value in watching this video, click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell notification. Thank you so much. Until next video.